Hello students, welcome back. Let's continue with the second lecture of matters in our surrounding. So in the last lecture, we have studied till the classification of states of matter, in which we have studied three states of matter which were solid, liquid and gases. Okay, so let's start from there only. How many types of matters we have studied? We have studied total three types of matter. Okay, which were they? They were the solids, the liquids, okay, and the gases. These three states of matter we have studied. Okay, now let's discuss about briefly in water solids, water liquid and water gases. So in the last class I have told you that we will discuss the properties of this properties of all these um, states of matter. Okay, other than these three states of matter, one more states of matter is there. There are two more states of matter are being included there. One is the plasma. Okay, one is the plasma. What does this plasma is? This plasma is the ionized gases. This plasma are the ionized gases. They are nothing other than ionized gases. Now what is this ionized gases means? Okay, so you don't know about ionized gases, so let's start with the ionized gases. What are the ionized gases? So the ionized gases, first we have to study what is ions. Okay, what are the ions? So the elements which has certain charges on them, the elements which have certain charges on them, they are called as ions. Okay, now the new word has been came here, elements. I have discussed about the elements before also, in the pure substance and impure substance. I will discuss this thing in the next chapter. Okay, so presently you just know that the elements or the atoms, okay, any atom which is having certain charges on them, then they are called as ions. Let's take an example. You everybody know about the oxygen gas, the gas which is essential for our body, without which we cannot live. Okay, so the oxygen gas is also an element. It is represented by a letter O. We represent oxygen gas by the letter O. Okay, so if I am saying that oxygen gas is being charged, so it means that it must be having a charge over it. So the oxygen gas generally charge is -2. So when we write O to the power -2, okay, O raised to -2, then it is said that it is a ion. Okay, it is a ion, and due to its oxygen element, so therefore it will be called as oxygen ion. Okay, similarly, you know about hydrogen. Hydrogen. So hydrogen has plus charge. So if it is having +1 charge, then it will be called as hydrogen ion. Hydrogen ion. Okay, so the elements or the species which have this type of charges, positive or negative charges raised to their power, then they are called as ions. Okay, then they are called as ions. So in air, we know that in air there are different gases mixed together. Air is a mixture of gases. Okay, there are different gases which are mixed together. So what happens when you everybody know about electric current na? So when electric current is passed through the air, electric current is passed through air, then the gases of air gets converted into ions. Okay, they converted into ions, means if the oxygen will be there, then the oxygen will attain charge 2 minus. If hydrogen gas is there, then it will attain plus 1 charge. If nitrogen gas is there, then it will attain minus 3 charge. Like this, all the gases will be attaining ions. Okay, they will be attaining charges and they will become ion. So this ionized gases are called as plasma. Okay, these ionized gases only will be called as them plasma, and it is the fourth state of matter. Okay, it is the fourth state of matter. Let's move further. Next, the fifth type of state of matter is Bose-Einstein condensate. Okay, Bose-Einstein condensate is also considered as a new state of matter. It is the fifth state of matter generally. Okay, so these five states of matter are there, but in our course we have to study only these three. What are they? Solids, liquids, and gases. Okay, solids, liquid, and gases. All these three we have to study. So let's move further and see what are the difference between these properties. Okay, what are the difference between the properties? So first, what are the properties which we are going to compare in order to differentiate the solid state, liquid state, and gaseous state? So the properties are written here. You can see the properties are written here. Okay, in the first column. Then in the second column, solids, we are defining the solids, what kind of properties solids are having, then what kind of properties liquids are having, and then in the last column, gaseous states is been defined. Okay, so first property which we are going to take is the mass. Okay, is the mass. So I have discussed in the previous lecture about mass. So let's see what is the mass of the solid state. So solid state has definite mass. Okay, solid states have definite mass. What is the reason behind it? Because the solid has particles very closely packed to each other. Closely packed means the particles which are constituted in a solid particles, they are very nearer to each other. Okay, they are very nearer to each other, and they are been uh, packed, or they have been a force of attraction between them, which is known as intermolecular force of attraction, which is very strong, and due to that reason, as the particles are very near to each other, due to this, what will happen? Large number of particles can be accumulated in a very small space. Okay, large number of particles can be accumulated in a very small space. So hence, the mass is the number of particles present in a matter. So hence, if large number of particles are present in very small space, then the mass of that particular substance will be very high. And also the particles are definite here, means this shape, or this particular mass, these particles generally doesn't change their shape easily. So therefore their mass is always definite, it does not change readily. Okay, next, liquid also have a definite mass. Okay, as comparison to solid, if I am taking liquid also, then it is also having a definite mass. Okay, also gases also have definite mass, but the particles of liquids will be farther as comparison to that of the solids. They will be farther to each other as comparison to that of the solids, while gases particles are very far away from each other. Okay, they will be very much far away from each other, and we cannot easily see the particles of them. Okay, we cannot easily see the particles of them. Next is the volume, shape and rigidity. Okay, volume, shape and rigidity. So as I have told you that solids particles are closely packed to each other and large number of particles can be accumulated in very small space. Okay, so hence it is having solids volume is also definite. Solids maintain their shape even when they are subjected to an external force, that is they are rigid. Okay, so the volume of the solids are also definite. The volume does not change readily, means we cannot easily change the volume of a solid. As I have told you before also, if I am taking example of a pen, then that pen cannot easily change its volume. We cannot easily convert the pen's volume easily. We have to apply very high amount of force in order to convert that particular volume. But in case of this property of not easily changing the shape or size or volume of a substance, it is known as rigidity. This property is known as rigidity. Okay, rigid means a substance which does not change its shape readily or easily, and the solids have this property, therefore the solids are considered as rigid substances. Okay, liquid. So you have seen water. What is the property of water? Does it have any definite shape? No, water does not have any definite shape. You know about water or any other liquid which you have seen. Okay, so water does not have any definite shape. Okay, the reason behind it is that the molecules or the particles of waters are very far away from each other as comparison to that of the solid state. Okay, so the solid particles are very near to each other, but waters are having some gap between them, due to which reason they are having flexibility between them. Okay, they can easily move here and there, and due to that reason only they does not have a fixed shape. They does not have a fixed shape. Their shape, but they have a fixed volume. But their volume is fixed because the particles are not that much far that their volume will be destructed there. Okay, so there they does not have a fixed shape, but they have a fixed volume. The shape of the liquids can be changed according to the container in which they are kept. Okay, and hence they are less rigid. They are rigid in a sense that they are having fixed volume, but they are not like solids that they cannot be easily changed their shape. Okay, so their shape can be easily changed, hence they are less rigid as comparison to that of the solids. Next is the gases. Okay, so we know that all over around us gases are present. We cannot see them easily. Okay, so hence we know that they does not have any particular definite shape. Gases does not have any particular definite shape. What is the reason behind it? The particles of gases are very much far away from each other. The particles of gases are very much far away from each other, and due to this reason they cannot constitute a particular shape. And that's why, due to the reason that the particles of the gases are very far away from each other, hence their volume is also considered as very low. Okay, they are also having very low volume. As you know that the gases which can be the amount of gases which can be accumulated in a bottle, that particular amount of gas can be easily spreaded up in a very large room also. Okay, so what is the reason behind it? Because they does not have indefinite volume. And what is the reason behind it? Because the particles are having very large amount of distance between them, and due to this reason they does not possess any definite volume or any definite shape. Hence they are not rigid. Okay, hence they are not rigid. Next, on the basis of the kinetic theory of intermolecular space. Okay, on the basis of the kinetic theory of intermolecular phase, the next property. So first I want to tell you about what is intermolecular space. So as I have told you that particles are there. Okay, every matter is made up of particles. So these particles are being arranged in proper manner in case of solids. Okay, so the distance between two particles, let's consider that the particles are in spherical shape. Spherical means ball shaped. Okay, so I am considering that the particles are in ball shape. So then the distance between these two spheres, okay, distance between these two spheres will be considered as the interparticle interparticle shape or intermolecular space. Okay, interparticle shape or intermolecular space. Now, in solids, this space is very less because the particles are closely packed to each other and they are very near to each other. Like this, they are very near to each other. So therefore, we can see that this space is very less. Okay, this space is very less. While in case of liquids, there is some space between two particles. Okay, so therefore, this space is larger as comparison to that of the solids. In liquids, the particle space is the particle space is larger as comparison to that of the solid, and due to this reason they can slip and slide over each other, and due to this reason they can slip and slide over each other, and hence a liquid can flow. A liquid can flow. Next is the gaseous state. As I have told you before also, the particles of gases are very far away from each other. So hence the intermolecular distance, the intermolecular space between them is also very large. Large intermolecular space is present there. Okay, and also the arrangement of the particles is also not ordered. It is also randomly they have been arranged out. Means one particle is there, one particle is there, then other one will be here, other one will be here. Like this, the arrangement will be there. No proper arrangement will be seen. But in case of liquids, as the particles are far away from each other, means as comparison to solid they are far, but they are having a proper arrangement in them. Okay, and due to this reason they are having a fixed volume. Okay, next, on the basis of the forces of attraction between them, okay, we can differentiate on them on the basis of the forces of attraction. So the force of attraction between the particles is strong. As I have told you that the particles of solids are very near to each other. Like this, they are closely packed. We can take an example of closely packed, that when we have packed something or our clothes in a bag very tightly. Okay, so that is an example of solids particle, where the particles are being here very closely packed and very tightly packed to each other. No extra space is been left out there in order to the movement of the particles. Okay, so hence, due to the what is the reason behind this closely packing? The reason is the force of attraction, means a particular force which is between two particles, which makes them near to each other. Okay, as we are having a force of gravity. Okay, the earth pulls us down us na, so like that only a force of attraction will be there between two particles and between all these particles, which is making them very near to each other, and due to this reason they are very closely packed. Okay, and they are having very high force of attraction between them. While in case of liquids, this force of attraction is strong enough to make a fixed volume, but it is lesser than as comparison to that of your solid particles. Okay, it is very less as comparison to that of your solid particles, and this reason why, and due to this reason only, the liquids can easily flow. Okay, but the gases, but the solids cannot flow because the force of attraction is very high. Okay, next, gases can mix and diffuse into other gases. What does this mean? This means that due to the presence of very low force of attraction, okay, due to presence of very low force of attraction between the particles of the gases, they can easily mix with other gases. Okay, they can easily mix with other gases, and it does not make very much big difference on being mixing with other gases. So the mixing of gases with another gases, mixing of a gas with another gas is known as diffusion. This process is known as diffusion. Okay, so if I want to give you the definition of diffusion, then the diffusion's definition will be like this. First, I want to define the fluids. Okay, so what are fluids? Substances that can flow easily. Substances that can flow easily are called fluids. So you know that liquids can flow and also gases can flow. So hence liquids and gases can be considered as fluids. Okay. So the definition of the diffusion is like this. The transfer of a fluid from higher concentration region to lower concentration region without any application of external force is called diffusion. Okay, this is called as diffusion. So let's take an example for understanding the diffusion. I am taking two tanks. Okay, one tank here and the another tank here below. I have taken two tanks here. Okay, now one tank here and one tank like this. Okay, so this tank is been filled. This tank has been filled with water. I filled it with water. Okay, fully filled it with water. Water is there. Okay, and this is a pipe which has been closed. Abhi ye closed. Okay, I have closed it now. Now, if I open this pipe, na, then what will happen? Since this is a empty tank, no water is there. So what will happen? Here, it is a low concentration of water. Low concentration of water is there. But here, the tank is filled with water. So it is a high concentration of water. So as I open this pipe, then what will happen? The water will start to flow in this empty tank, and no external force will be required out here. Okay, it will do this process will be going on simultaneously. Okay, so this process of flowing of water from higher concentration region to lower concentration region, okay, is known as diffusion. So in gases also this thing is done, where the gases are having higher concentration, and if a passage is given to them towards the lower concentration region, then they readily transfer from one place to another place. Okay, this is known as diffusion. Okay, now the next property is the on the basis of their movement, on the basis of their movement. So as the particles of solids are very near to each other, so they does not have very much space in order to vibrate highly. Okay, I want to give you an idea that every particles present in a substance, they have an amount of energy which makes them to move around their places. Okay, which makes them to move around their places. So as very little space is there in case of solids, so the vibration or the movement is very small. Okay, the movement is very small, and it is about only their mean position on. While in the cases of liquid state, what you will see here, large amount of spaces will be there like this. As comparison to solid, the spaces is large, so hence the movement will be also larger as comparison to that of the solids. Okay, also in case of gases, there is very much space available there, so the particles can move with very high amount of energy, and they can move at a very great space here. Okay, So hence, on the basis of movement, if you are saying that, then the solid particles are having very less vibration or very short vibration, and they move along their mean position only, while in case of liquids, they are free to move around its liquid space only, and they can slip and slide over each other, due to which they can flow. While in the cases of gases, what will happen, they can move with very high speed. Okay, they can move with very high speed due to presence of very high space between the particles, and hence can exert pressure on the walls of the container in which they are kept out. Okay, so I can give you one example there. You have seen that when we keep a bottle closed up, okay, and if we fill it with water, especially the plastic bottles, then after some days, if we are not watching it, then what happens there, the plastic bottle's bottom becomes swelled. Okay, it becomes swelled, and we does not have exerted any pressure there. Firstly, the bottle was like this. Okay, this dotted line shows the bottle's bottom, but after some time you will see that it has swelled up. So what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is the particles which can flow exerts pressure on the walls in the of the container in which they are kept. Okay, so due to that force only, this bottle's bottom gets swelled up, and the shape of this bottle gets changed. Okay, so we have discussed today the properties of the solids, liquid and gases, diffusion, and all these things in this lecture. Okay, and also we have seen different types of particles which are solid, liquid and gases. So the solids are the substances which are rigid in shape, whose shapes cannot be easily changed. Liquids are the substances which can easily flow, and they does not have any definite shape. Their shape can be easily changed according to the container in which they are kept. And the gases, they does not have any shape, the due to that reason only they does not possess any volume. But the liquids and solids are having definite volume. Their volume is fixed, while in case of gases, their volume can be changed. Means a small amount of gas can also be, the volume of that particular amount of gas can also be expanded very largely, or can be compressed very largely. But in case of liquids and solids, the volume is not very highly changeable. Okay, so for today I am uh, ending our class here only, and in the next class we will discuss more about the states of matter. Also we will study how we can change, or how we can interchange the states of matter. Okay, it means that can I convert the solids into liquid, or can I convert the liquids into gases? Okay, so think a little bit about it, and we will study this thing in our next class. So thank you all the students for watching this video, and I want to notify you that you have to prepare your notes also, beta. Okay, every student, please listen carefully, that we have to prepare your notes also. So you can prefer a practical copy. Okay, you can prefer a practical copy for preparing your notes. Okay, you can prepare by topic also, and I will be providing you all the question and answers. Okay, all the question and answers, so you have to write all the question and answers in your copy. And the way, in order to prepare notes, as you have now in been high classes, high school. Okay, so in high school, the way to prepare the notes is to, you can prepare the notes by topic also. Okay, by topic also means, if I have given you topics such as matter, so you can write the definition of matter. Then what are the properties of matter, where their characteristics of matter I have told you about, so you can write that also. Okay, so this has been become a topic for matter. Then we have discussed about the particles, then we have discussed about the states of matter. Okay, then we have discussed about solid, particularly liquid, solid and gases. Okay, so you can make the notes according to topic by topic also. And after this topic notes, you have to prepare the question and answers notes also. Okay, so this is the way to prepare the notes now. Okay, so you have to prepare your notes like this only, and you have to use a practical copy for your chemistry in order to prepare the notes. So thank you, and we will meet in the next class.